Hi there, this message is for the selective collective, which simply means that you're vibrating here at a certain frequency that allows you to be lined up with me. So I am Kim and I'm here to give you all a reading. I just want to address really quickly the messages kind of coming in. There's an odd feeling with the energy that I'm picking up on. And it's kind of in relation to, I'm sure you've seen other videos on YouTube that say something's changing. People have changed. Things aren't the same. I'm just thinking of thumbnails. You know, time is speeding up. Basically, like what's going on. And so I wanted to talk a little bit about that because when you're being very connected to 5D consciousness, you're connected with unity, and there's a desire for identifying with unconditional love, which is great. But a lot of relationships that are formed here, especially in the familial route, like in regards to your family, are actually, they have a lot of ties that are based on conditional love. And so things have changed, and just like you can't unsee something, right? Or once you know, you can't go back. This energy has shifted you in such a way that however you used to feel around people, like in family or certain friendships, even best friends that for maybe 20 plus years, when you're around them now, there's this veil that's been lifted. There's a connection of unconditional love from you, more than likely. But however, there's that veil that has showed us where there were conditions and how it affected us, how before you knew what you knew or had this awareness, this energy shift, you could easily slip into an emotion of where you thought it was, and the rose-colored glasses of everything is great. But remember, that was before there was complete awareness of what was around you. Some people's mask comes off. You notice well, like I said, you notice who was basically operating from a lot of programming and true conditional, like conditionally, and who also tried to grow from a place of conditional love. Well, they're going along with what I'm saying here, because the orphan, yeah, they're going along with what I'm talking about. So, yep, it's these cards right here. Perfect. Those are the cards off the bottom. This says exactly what I'm talking about, because it's left a place in us where we feel we're super aware of what we did not receive. Acceptance. There's an acceptance of what I was without when I really needed to receive it, right? So whatever this is, it's either something that happened in childhood or happened at some significant point in your life where another has, it's not always like let us down, but sometimes it is that what they're saying is like, it's not always that they let you down. And not even playing it, let's not even talk about how things can be scripted, or somebody can, because certainly those would be things that we do not have concrete 100% proof on, right? So I don't want to bring that into it. But say that somebody's awareness is not where yours is, or their growth in maybe just a particular body, maybe it's just happens to be this lifetime they wanted to experience something of maybe not having much empathy, just as an example. So could have been a person whose emotional needs were neglected, not met, and that could be a constant. That can be something that goes into adulthood. But you could have been, raised by people that were very sure that they were doing everything exactly right, and they probably were doing the best to their awareness, and that they're conscious of. A lot of people that all of us were raised by, were thinking that they were under a plan or a system that had different conditions to be met, and then if you did that, then life would look good, and it would, as you know, look good sometimes on the outside, most of the time on the outside, look real good for everybody else, but not be very broken inside. And so it was never really working, right? And that's also the awareness of, like, whatever conditioning was in place. So I hope I'm making sense with this. But you find yourself in the empty room with that type of energy in our lives. Once you have the awareness of what it was that you're aware of that you needed, that maybe somebody else wasn't aware of that you needed, or that you were not given. And so the empty room is where we're like, okay, now there's like a void or a space, and it needs to be filled. That's the first thing that you would say to yourself, is that, okay, what is this feeling? This is a feeling of emptiness. This is a feeling of lack. Now, that can actually be a bridge to feeling a lack feeling in different areas of our life. It can bridge off. So something that happened, when you were very small could be something that you feel like you lacked or needed, could be translated into you being in a life where there's a different area. Maybe it's financial, but it's showing up through a different medium, almost like it's showing up as there's something that once we're aware of, once we perceive it, basically we can start then working on that part of ourselves, the part that feels like there's something to be filled up. Now, this card, if you look in the guidebook, is going to tell you there's infinite possibilities here, and to keep yourself open to not being necessarily confined in a box, because you can see straight through it. So this is, to me though, I'm not going against that guidebook. I'm saying that this box is a construct. It is a construct that we've built when we identified with being the orphan. Okay, so break down that identity, you break down that construct, and you break down the conditioning. And a lot of times there's conditioning where people are raising us not knowing that they're actually conditioning us to want to have to fill a void or to fill it up. And we do this sometimes with obsessions of all kinds, sometimes of money, of success, chasing different relationships that have something that they fill up for us. And we're always looking for more, because that truly is just a construct. So there's something that's not going to be complete about it. The only thing that's actually complete is what you already hold inside you. Everything else is just a construct or an identity that you have identified with. And so the awareness of that, especially when you're having to still relate to people that like part of it, it can be sad, it can be emotional, it can feel like for a while processing this stuff feels like a roller coaster. So you do realize though that the self, which is here in this body, has many, many, many different aspects. And the pearl here representing your experiential wisdom, but represents a part of you that wants to be expressed. Now, it could be, it can be, I'm just sensing another identity attachment here from this. So I like to think, I wish it would actually say the higher self here. The higher self here. Because the goal and the messages I've been getting from Spirit is that is what we are doing with our conscious awareness of who we are. we're opening those with the help of spirit and giving us energy downloads, light codes. It's opening our centers to be connected more and more with our higher self. And so we're becoming more of who we actually are, and who we are is all of it. It is the box hand outside of the box that was created that we thought we were limited to. You're not just the human, you're also everything that you see, everything. You are one with it all. You are it all, and you're always complete. So just another thing about watching with what and whom you identify too closely in, because is it putting us in a box, or is it something we need to process or get through, move through? I feel like these energies are things that people are moving through, and the word dismay is kind of coming out to describe how you might feel about some people that are simply not, they don't seem to be going on the same ascension path as you, and they might not. And they might not. And there might be groups of people that kind of die out, attached to very much so the 3D, you know. And so that's what they're usually here talking to me about, is how can we become more of ourself. Ourself is unconditional love, and it's not limited. It's not going to feel lonely. Is not going to feel hurt, because it never actually gets hurt. Like, so this is like your untouchable self, your superhero, which is exactly who you are. So you're taking flight with this new sense of self, or this new identity. Taking flight again. What's interesting about that card is it's also about like taking your wings. And as I said that, I looked up and it was 1144. So the 144 frequency is coming out to me, because it's about achieving, getting your wings here so that you can fly. Yeah. All right. You have the cosmic network. You have pulsar. I always feel like that's a message or a signal, or even a I was getting like a honing device, like spirit saying, we know exactly where you are. We know exactly where you are. We're transmitting information to you at this time. And a lot of information, we're just making sure that the connection to get it is there and turning that on. So know that that cosmic network is like this crystalline grid or matrix here that I see as a divine matrix for you. The pulsar is also talking about downloads, light codes, activations, but they're saying that the networking has been made. So all you need is your want to know whatever information that you want to know, and you have the ability, because yourself is connected to all of it. Your divine self in a more and more crystalline body is connected. Oh, beautiful. Wow, the spectrum. Also, number 7 might be significant. They're saying solar flares, so we'll talk about that too. And that you are always protected. Know that that is the main certainty you can have here on this earth plane, is that you are protected in the stratosphere. That's this area where there's balance, there's harmony, and it's union too. And this feels like union with your higher self, more and more, right? So what's interesting about the spectrum is I'm getting the more that we go into what they call a new earth, or this higher level of dimension consciousness, you're going to start seeing more things. And as silly as it sounds, there has been an uptick in things like Bigfoot sightings, and also unidentified or UAPs. Hard to tell sometimes which ones are, man-made, because certainly the technology is amazing. But they're letting me know to tell you that there's more things that you're seeing. You're opening up your visual field. Your visual field is opening up to different dimensions. The veil is definitely very, very thin. And just continued short intermittent bursts of updates of energy are coming to you all the time. Basically, these people that are seeing things, they're saying that this is connected with what I was talking about knowing who you are, the sense of self, knowing that you're connected with all of the information. So anything you're interested in, super interested in, and are earnestly asking about, you will probably be connected with at this time. So expect different abilities and expect to see different things. Solar flares here is I feel like the main energy here that we're talking about that's lately been helping us. We're in solar cycle year, what our solar cycle number 25, and we're halfway through it. I think it ends. It's 11-year cycle, and it started in 2019. So we're like halfway, and that means that we're at its peak. So it's really ramping up, and it's expected to be causing a lot of geomagnetic storm activity, causing a lot of Mother Gaia reactions to the changing. And also you can see the heartbeat, what we call the heartbeat of Gaia, the Schumann's resonance, being affected by all of the solar activity. And just it is in alignment with your ascension. They're saying all of these changes. So expect there to be a lot of more changes coming. Expect to have more access to the cosmic network, the quantum field of information. You're moving to a different place. And yeah, there are situations where we can't go back to how we used to feel before awareness came, before enlightenment, or the ability to see things and people and situations exactly how they are, for their patterns, and they're good and they're bad and all of it, So no, we're not going back. We are going forward, and it is your choice to take this energy, and you want to work with it. You want to spread news of unconditional love, service, and reverence for all. Then that's where what I like to talk about here. And it usually on this channel, of course, it starts with the self. So the changes are within the self. That's what I've been focused on with you all. So yeah, expect more changes here. Let's get an angel number for you, and I'm just gonna make it something short for today. Angel number for the selective collective, whom is on this frequency, ready to show new versions of themselves, because the higher self is wanting to be seen. I have 22, master number 22, master builder, master creator. Pluto energy also is associated with master number 22. So everything changes, unavoidable transformation and change once you're in the flow. I feel like you all are in a stellar flow, in a flow of stars here. Master number 22, you are in possession of incredible creative powers, and it is assured you can achieve anything you wish. I'm aligned. Yeah, and you are aligned with the cosmic network. All the information, any information you need to create, to have a fun life, to experience new things. Yeah, okay, so 777, lucky number also, kind of we associate with jackpot, right? Your purpose flows from within you, and everything that is unfolding or being revealed to you is part of your purpose. A state of peace and calmness in your soul. I am in flow. Also, the spectrum has the number 7 associated with the colors. So, yeah, there's something here about maybe this feels very, like it's been like it's been a spiritual challenge in life. But there's a highly spiritual energy here supporting you and supporting that higher self-identity, merging with unity consciousness here, elevation, ascension, and taking flight. So that's what I have for you all. I'm sending you love and light. Bye.